Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. This is greater than a, first thing, and we're most likely going to be live streaming only for an hour. My mom arrived unexpectedly at my previous live stream, which is nice and amazing, and she was quite civil. Yeah. However, there still is a lot of family drama stuff going on between my dad and my mom. And I know that my mom did, and I know that a lot of the stuff that my mom did was still not okay. It doesn't make sole custody all right. It doesn't mean it, and her being civil on the live stream doesn't make false diagnoses of autism right, and her being on the live stream does not make any of this, a lot of the stuff that she's previously done right. And I know that my dad has been civil, kind, and respectful towards me, and I know that he is always there towards my younger sibling. And I would just like to let you know that I fear that some shit will happen on Monday or Tuesday or something like that, random or prepared, and I may have to say goodbye to all of you on Monday or Tuesday or Sunday. I would like to let you know, however, that I am going to do my best to still be able to talk to you on the live stream and still be able to, no matter what, I'm still going to be friends with Nioski, even if contact is completely forbidden. He is a tavarish, period. And I trust him, and I trust him to do the right thing. I just have the hunch out there that something may or may not happen. Now, anyways, I'm beginning with the Republic of Kivul live stream, and I just want you to be prepared if all of a sudden I suddenly stop live streaming. Just so you know, and all that, You guys are wonderful people on the live stream, and if I ever, stop live streaming randomly, just know that I respect you guys. You are incredible people, and you have been incredible people, and you will be. Well, I don't know about will be, but I know that you've been incredible people for the entire duration of me knowing you. And it would be a shame to see it all disappear. I just know that I'm just kind of worried that something will happen. Anyways, say look. So now that that is out of the way, I'm going to officially begin my campaign as the Republic of Kivul, but not before something. Hang on, I'll be back. Okay, back. I just did my drops. That's all. It's not like it's not extra drama with my mom. So let's begin the campaign, and I will be loading. Well, not loading. I'm going to be playing as the Republic of Kivul, and keep in mind, this series will probably end abruptly. Just, I know that. But, well, not probably. It might. I'm just nervous, I have the hunch that my mom will attempt to cut contact between me and you. Thing is this. If it ever comes to my mom cutting contact between me and you, and I'm not just talking to you, Neoski, I'm talking to Seamus, I'm talking to Fritz, I'm talking to Uncle Sam, I'm talking to my greatest friends. Just know that if I'm ever forced to disappear, if something happens and I suddenly disappear from Discord, it's just know that I have a hunch that some shit is gonna happen, and some shit's gonna happen on Monday, some shit's gonna happen on Sunday. I know it is, but I know that there's lots of drama and lots of shit that's happening. Anyways, okay. Window capture. Anyways, we should be, you are a great dude from Dr. Terminator Show. Thank you. Thank you, Neoski. You are a wonderful person. You are, if, thing is this, it ain't, most likely isn't, and even if my mom tries to just say, I'm permanently cutting your internet access, you are to only talk with school or you are only to have internet access when it comes to school, and when it comes to piano teacher, I'm going to say, oh really, is that so? And then I will call my dad immediately and tell him that I am moving. Anyways, we are the Republic of Kivul. You will be playing as political parties within the Republic of Kivul. Just maybe not even political parties, but just various ideologies, special interest groups. Whereas previously you were just random people on the live stream influencing the Emperor's consciousness. You can roleplay as much as you want or as little as you want. You can state your political ideology. Groups, people that influence Kivul and have a stake in the affairs of Kivul. Yeah, so I'm going to start the live stream. I'm going to start the playthrough. And randomize. I'm going to say low. Close. Our nation begins in the Eta Carinae star system. In the galaxy, and it starts around here. The dominant culture of the planet is Hungarian, although various Slavic groups exist within this planet as well, such as Poles, etc., as well as several African Americans and Koreans. The life within Kivul, although again the dominant culture is Central European, and I'm not talking about German Central European, I'm talking about places like Hungary. They were all formed they were all formed between 1930 and 1970. And they were formed by various groups that were fleeing oppression from the Soviet Union and segregation from the United States. They aimed to create a better and free society. These are primarily, and thus they are libertarian when it comes to ethics. They came to this planet with a distrust of outsiders within humanity. However, over time they've grown more optimistic. Their society has been unified for decades, and they know what happens when there are wars. Thus, and especially an American cultural influence from American blacks, has led them to become xenophilic. As the people that came to Kivul were originally scientists, they're ecocentric, and they generally preserve a system of values in order to protect the biosphere and to be a part of the biosphere that they inhabit. They believe that they are part of nature, and not conquerors of nature. Because these nations were fleeing communism, they've grown rather competitive and developed a free market. And because they originally were elitist, and because they were originally, as scientists, they generally had principles and knowledge that they viewed as above others, and thus they became somewhat elitist. The general structure of a lab. Certain scientists know more. Their assistants. This is somewhat filled in the structure of society. That although it's democracy, certain people are treated as better than others. However, this has not led to true segregation or oppression. This has led to prosperity. And it's equal among every race. It doesn't matter if you are a Hungarian, Pole, Czech, African American, or Korean. However, most people from Kivul... Dr. Terminator Show says, I'm an anarcho-little Caesarist. Selukir Thoraklanzin. I like this so far. Well, so far. Yeah. And so, of course, in the planet of Kivul, and of course, if you take a look at our leaders, at our leadership, our governor, we're primarily scientists from the Hungarian and Polish ancestry. Most of our men are Polish and Hungarian. Our current scientist is... No. Krzysztof Krzyżanowski. And he's our leading physicist. Then we have Bartosz Lisiecki and Iza Fialkowska. They're generally good at research, and so of course we are going to work on planetary unification. Although the Republic of Kivul has been pretty much the domineering power, a worldly organization needs to form. Well, however, some of us would want us to do well, and when we research this, we shall get additional edicts and campaigns. Our nation shall officially begin its trek amongst the stars. Hungarian is a beautiful language from Dr. Terminator. So the thing about this, though, is I'm using a Polish name list. Yes, a Polish name list for Hungarian Kivul. Only reason is that I couldn't find a Hungarian name list. If I could find a Hungarian name list, I would use a Hungarian name list. And of course, some people in this game will show up as Asian or black, and so it can't truly be fully Central European 100%. We could say that but you know, again, the society is a very, very unified society, and it doesn't matter what race you are, you're going to achieve, although it's dominated by a majority from Central Europe, Hungary, etc. And yeah, I agree that Hungarian is a beautiful language. Well, the good news is right now I'm live streaming. And of course, our colonization of a new solar system will be great and noted.
Anomaly detected.
We are beginning to research. And of course, Turkic Kivul. Well, I know that Kivul was originally Neoski's idea. I originally played Kivul and wanted Kivul on Stellaris as a sort of treat for Neoski, as a sort of present for Neoski. I tried to include Kivul in my first Stellaris live stream, but that failed miserably. Because Kivul got eaten up at the very beginning of the game. I'm guessing it could have been... I set several neighbors as advanced neighbors, and I think that there was someone with determined exterminators, or no, like fanatic purifiers or determined exterminators or something like that there. So that's why. Expansion, discovery, diplomacy. I think I might do discovery. So yeah. Thoughts on Man in the High Castle lore? First of all, let me just say this. The best... Keep in mind I haven't really played TNO because I'm terrible at Hearts of Iron 4. I've never really played TNO. But I'd say the best scenario where the Nazis won World War II, TNO. Period. The New Order, Last Days of Europe. And I've seen it, I've seen what happened, and I've seen that
Survey complete.
But yeah, when it comes to Man in the High Castle, I'd say it's good. I think it's very implausible. But then again, so is TNO. I personally would say, though, that TNO is superior to Thousand Week Reich, because Thousand Week Reich isn't truly an Axis victory. It's a Nazi, it's an Axis stalemate. You know, I'd like to see a scenario where Japan wins in Germany, and Germany loses. I think that would be very interesting. You know, say if Japan had two distinguished admirals that could prevent their defeat. That could happen. You know, if Japan had two distinguished admirals, that agreed with each other, that were incredibly strong tacticians and were able to outmaneuver the Americans at any chance they could, ones that were able to maybe, say, avoid the war, avoid attacking Pearl Harbor, and once America and Russia got nukes, America kinda didn't want to kill the Imperial Japanese because maybe they already got nukes. Or something like that. You know, where Europe would be all democracy and Japan would, and Asia would be a lot worse. That would be an interesting scenario. Thoughts on Trump conceding yesterday? I would say, yeah.
Survey complete.
That was expected. But at the same time, you know, at the same exact time, Donald Trump could have stopped it. He could have became a dictator. He didn't. That leads to me to believe that he is either A, a false populist, or B, a shill. Or C, well, A, a false populist, or B, a weakling, a pussy, for not doing what he had to do. He could have done it, but we're not allowed to see him do that. You know, he could have done that. I believe that he should have. But he didn't. And he did that because he was too weak to do it. Too weak mentally, too weak emotionally. Something related to him being weak. And I believe that, yeah. Blumph is gone. What now? Will we blame Orange Man even after he's gone? Yes, we will blame Orange Man even after he's gone. Look, here's my prediction. All the Republicans will be saying that it's Biden's fault the country's still fucked up. And all the Democrats will blame the Republicans. Donald Trump, I wouldn't say that Donald Trump divided America. Donald Trump awakened the divisions that were already there and put an emphasis on them. He put an emphasis out to redress them. But I think that Donald Trump could have stopped this a long time ago, and he didn't. And I blame him for that. I blame him. Because either he's a false populist, or B, he's a pussy. He could be a true populist and just a pussy. If he is, I have no respect for him. Well, if he is, maybe I might. I'll understand, but I won't really. I won't like it. You know, he put the American people down because he was too scared. And if Donald Trump is a false populist too would include not going to that direction. A false populist would, if he's that, then there's no way America's going to get fixed. And I fully condemn him. Could have led a march on Washington. He didn't. Disgusting.
Construction complete.
Thoughts on Garfieldism? I don't know. On a Republican/True Democrat alliance
Construction complete.
against liberalism and heresy, pretty much. Fully support that. Against, I would say though that a Trump-Bernie, man, if we had Trump as the president and Bernie as the vice president, or the other way around, I think our country, Donald Trump. This is, by the way, what I'm planning to have in the nations, in the Enemies and Alliances RP, where Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders say, fuck our differences. We all know that there are problems growing, and if we don't stop them now, we're not going to be able to do that. We are not going to be able to possibly do that. We now know without a doubt that a thriving biosphere is not something unique to Kivul. Yeah, unfortunately, we are discovering worlds that the boomer vote. Boomers will keep lib shit alive.
Survey complete.
OMG, these drumtards and Bernie bros are dangerous. Settle for Joe. Yeah, modern Democrats need Democrats like JFK and Roosevelt to take power. Otherwise, they won't be taken seriously. For as much as I dislike Roosevelt, and I do dislike him, I think he was a dishonest leader. He didn't behave like a neutral nation.
Anomaly detected.
My opinion is we should have gone to that war, period. And either be fully honest or just don't.
Technology discovered. Survey complete.
Yeah, modern Democrats need people like JFK and Roosevelt in power if they want to be taken seriously.
Construction complete.
My opinion is this. Really, modern Democrats
Technology
need
discovered.
change. And modern Democrats, I think that what they're trying to do is good. Hi.
Oh, hi, Leo. Don't worry. I'll kill the person
Construction
I'm talking to on the phone tomorrow.
Data link, some Democrats were the greatest presidents in our nation's history. And yet nowadays Democrats, instead of being leaders, are like dogs that just bark at shit they don't like. Yeah, if we had a legitimate socialist as the president, if we had any actual socialist, and I'm not talking about what the fake social, I'm talking about there's a guy that I like on TikTok whose name is whose name is Off Left. He's a member of the Black Panthers. And yet, he hates feminism. Thank God. He is opposed to some of the chaos. He says that Joe Biden is not enough. And guess what? He is right. Joe Biden is not enough. We got the boring path. My personal opinion is this. We didn't get to decide anyway. Come on, they already decided this shit before we even went near the ballot. That's why Trump got elected one term. They allowed him to be in. But yeah, we're going to have Kamala Harris in charge. It's going to be, and it's going to be shit, and it's all Trump's fault. Because, more female death squads. Yeah, there will be death squads. And, I think that Donald Trump could have done something about it, but he didn't. Let's hope he does in the future.
Construction complete. Log updated.
The alt-right is laughing at Donald Trump. Well, no, not the alt-right. Donald Trump needs to kick the alt-right, kick out insane movements, racialist, and I fucking hate the term I'm going to be using. I am going to use it, but I hate it. Radical.
Survey complete.
I hate that term. I hate it. But I'm going to use it now. Radical. I'm going to, divisive would be a better term. Donald, true,
Anomaly detected.
what I'm planning to do in the role play is I'm going to be a Trump Sanders presidency. And you may laugh at me right now for this, but no, I'm going to be a serious Trump Sanders presidency. Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders
Special project
versus
complete.
Democratic leaders. Republicans used to be the laughingstock of the U.S. political landscape, and now they're the better of the two parties. Oh, how have times changed. Some people want to shift the Republican Party back to Romney. I applaud Trump for designating Antifa and the KKK as terrorist groups. Yeah, I say we should remove that. I also think that there is a serious drug crisis here in the United States, and if you think I'm just talking about, if you think that I'm just talking about cocaine and marijuana, although, again, that is a serious problem, I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about Billie Eilish. I think that Billie Eilish is one of the most dangerous drug producers, period.
Anomaly detected.
Billie Eilish is she was one of the most dangerous drug producers to ever exist. Think I'm joking? Because I'm not. More like a drug crisis in all of North America. NATO needs to get out of the Middle East and use their resources to deal with this shit. I fully agree. But the thing is this, it's not just I'm not just talking about cocaine, marijuana. I'm talking about people that are considered fully legal. I'm talking about the shit that's been going on for a long time in the music industry. Billie Eilish, pop. All modern pop music are drugs. They are drugs that get people addicted and killed. That's all it is. And they are dangerous. I'm not talking about use of them. Legion Canadian says hi. Hi, Legion Canadian. Yeah. But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous what's been going on for a long... yeah.
Log updated.
What's my opinion on
Survey complete.
drug dealers, loan sharks, and thoughts? I'd erase them. Yeah, K-pop, there's a horrible issue with getting kids into contracts that make it really hard to get out of, so they are kind of trapped for the rest of their lives. The minor concerts that'll hold up in court. The minor consents that'll hold up in court. Yeah, I think that Korea could be different. I know that they oppressed the Volscianeri. So yeah, I think that there's a huge hatred of real music, of real culture, say classical music, here in the United States. Liking classical music is like committing suicide in a way, because people will refuse to acknowledge
Construction complete.
even that classical music exists.
Construction complete.
Here in the United States, liking classical music is considered idiotic, and I know it's true around some of the rest of the world. In France, know what they termed the area where people like Claude Monet, Debussy,
Anomaly detected.
people like that all lived in? Know what that is right now? You want to know? You're not going to like it. I'll tell you what it is right now. Ruins. Well, not ruins. Fucking tourist trap. That's what it is right now. And I get that France would want to attract tourists and attract people to such a beautiful site, but it's a tourist trap right now for Karens, not for artists. It's not, there should still be artists that are in there, that are expanding and continuing on the great works of Claude Monet and Debussy. There aren't. They're dead. And maybe they still exist, living in much poorer areas in France. Maybe they exist with potential, but they've been just ripped apart from the inside. Through the education system, through college, through television, through their parents, teachers, love interests, friends, and just told to have a brewski and live in some random spot in town. It's awful. I bet that those people still exist, and I bet that they're still out there. But we're not allowed to talk about them, you see. Because if we actually draw attention to them... By the way, I need a name for 2 planets. Well, and yeah, long live. Yeah, long live pop music, not. Yeah, Korea itself. First of all, they oppress Volscianeri, and I don't like that. Et je le n'aime pas. By the way, I'm starting an official Discord server for the Republic of Kivul. I tried to have that for the Holy Britannic Empire, but that sort of failed. So of course, join the server. You could name planets. Anime decreases your social credit score by 100%. I bet it actually does in China. Which is a shame because Lelouch is... Because Code Geass is actually a based anime. But, if there is such a thing, yeah, it is such a thing. But of course, the thing is this, I still don't like anime. I still don't like it.
Survey
Because all
complete.
of the flaws in Code Geass are endemic to the fact that it's an anime. Lelouch is unbased. Ledouche. Yeah. I mean, I say you watch the show, and first of all, I'm going to give the advice that every weeb would hate. Watch it dub, not sub. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree that the actions in the sub are... that the acting of the dub is terrible. I fully agree. In the sub, it's far worse. Generic shonen protags who get their powers for free and then... if you say that Lelouch got his powers for free, you'd be mistaken. Because Lelouch was pretty much prohibited to live after he got these powers. Suzaku wanted to atone for death. Lelouch wanted a beautiful world with his sister. Both of them got what they didn't want. Code Geass died so that his sister could survive. No, Code Geass, Lelouch died so that his sister could survive. And live in a better world. Suzaku, you wanted to die. Tenno Hekai Thorakven. Ledouche is a douche. I mean, thing is this, just have you watched it? I have. I watched the whole thing. It's one of the only animes that I like. But guess what? The plot of Lelouch, the rebellion, the action fighting against the government, establishing a worldwide rebellion, betraying the rebellion, becoming the very thing that unites the world against him, dying because of that, so that the world may live in peace for years to come. Being replaced by his loyal knight, Suzaku. Simultaneously fulfilling the wishes of his friends. And... you know? That's Lelouch. Don't call Lelouch a douche. We found a primitive civilization in the Balthar system.
Construction complete.
We will elect a new president very soon. So right now, we have current candidates. First, we have Daniel Shigel, who's surveying Norberg 1. Next, we have Krzanovsky, who's surveying Bulfar. Next, we have Slavomir Krajewski, who's our current president, and then we have Maya Stanisevska, who's governing the Kivul sector. Presidents rule for 10 years, and they can be voted in as many terms as you would like. I personally wish that was not so. I wish they had, say, terms like maybe there could be, say, a democracy, like, say, a legislative democracy, an executive democracy, an oligarchy, a dictatorship, and an absolute monarchy. Well, and something like a theocracy, or and you could say choose if you would like a monarchy beneath it, well, above it, and all that. But which candidate should we vote for? Should we vote for the current president? Well, I mean, we don't know which party they're from, so I'll support the current guy because I trust him.
Construction complete.
Monkey. How long is 10 years in Stellaris IRL? There are 4 different speeds that you could choose. So I would say it was pretty long. We started the game.
Anomaly detected.
This is the fastest speed. Let's say we started at 9:30. It's right now 10:04. I'm gonna say we started around 9:20 to 9:30. So I'd say pretty long while. The good news is that I'm planning on colonizing 2 planets, and I would like names for the colonies, for the planets with the colonies. Just names. Doesn't have to be anything special.
Construction
and of course,
complete.
maybe Novorolnik. Okay.
Technology discovered. Technology discovered.
Do you have any other name for
Survey
a colony?
complete.
So we have multiple political parties. We currently if you have any better names for the different factions. So right now we have 4 political parties. We have the Conservative Party, we have the Solidarity Party, we have the Libertarian Party, and we have the Progressive Party. I'm giving them better names, and you can say, you can give them better names if you later. The Conservative Party is very adamant about democracy. And it's currently ran by our president. So our president is a part of the Libertarian Conservative faction. The Solidarity Party believe is somewhat of they believe in somewhat of a leadership of the part of the nation. You know, they believe in, they're more elitist. They say they are more nationalist towards Kivul, but they generally want the government. They're generally seen as, say, a second choice. The Libertarian Party is very capitalistic, and they somewhat approve and we also have the Progressive Party, which believes in xenology, well, which essentially believes in treatment of different species, a good treatment of different species. Their primary concern is the alien species in Balthar, in the Balthar system. Multiple parties make your democracy, like Peru, 3 presidents in a week, and all BRB, the Nazbul Party. I mean, thing is this: I can't control what factions, what factions are there.
Construction complete.
And keep in mind, I'm role-playing a nation such as the Republic of Kivul. I'm role-playing it. I generally tend to play in a specific style, like
Construction complete.
I want to invade those bozos right over there, but instead, I think I might invade them because they're authoritarian, militarist, and cooperative. The Nazbul Party. I might invade them. What I might do, however, is I might give them enough of a reason to join us and to accept more. Thing is this: my intended arc for the nation is for the nation to start libertarian, but after it faces the rest of the world, after it faces the realities of the political situation in the galaxy, for it to go more militarist, conservative, anti-libertarian. But I want it to start as a hopeful democracy. I intended the other option for it would be for it to begin as a dictatorship and slowly reform into a democracy. But the thing is, I don't think that would work. The people that escaped communist Soviet control were scientists. These scientists, and I didn't choose, these scientists were simply doing random experiments with wormholes. Really
Anomaly
complicated
detected.
shit that managed to land them in a different planet somewhere. So essentially they got lucky. Luckily they were male and female scientists, and essentially it was they're classified documents from the Soviet Union in our world. And another thing is, we do not know what happened on Earth.
Construction complete.
Factions, actually, they're replaced right now with the most other parties that disagree with the government. We are now the Conservative Party and the Libertarian Party. I think I might remain this is say. I might say this is the thoughts on the endangered Texas German culture. First of all, my opinion on immigrants. Immigrants should adopt and they should adapt to a domineering culture. Say if a French immigrant came, say if I moved to Japan, something happened in my life and I decided, I don't know, I'm moving to Japan. I'm an immigrant. Ich bin ein Immigrant. Ich bin ein Immigrant. Let's suppose that. I'm an immigrant to Japan. I moved to Japan. I think Japan's a better country than America. Say something happens in America where Japan has far more opportunities and is a far better country to live in than America, and I go to Japan. I would say, well, wouldn't that be ironic? But considering they lost a major war, and now, and all the Japanese wanted to move to America, and now all the Americans want to move to Japan. Well, let's say I do go there. I think I would have to learn, I think that one would have to learn the Japanese language to live in Japan. One would have to at least a degree of fluency and to still try their hardest to continue learning it to a dominant degree. To live in Japan, I think maybe to go to Tokyo or Kyoto, or to adopt to Japanese culture, understand their norms. To understand how it's like living in normal Japanese society. I think that another thing would be to understand how, to understand the social norms and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But I think that after a certain degree of that, there comes a point in maintaining your culture. If I were to move to Japan, or say if I were to move to Serbia, or a different country, I would still want to maintain my American culture. That would mean still speaking English in a strong, a lot. Maybe not all the time, but a lot. wanting to know, still showcasing American culture and being a representative of America in Japan. How does this relate to Texan German culture? To Texas German culture? I think that they should be uniquely German and uniquely American at the same time. Maybe it's impossible to be both. I think it is. But the ultimate goal, when a gun is pointed at your head, if I'm an immigrant to Japan and a gun's pointed at my head, I would be loyal to Japan. Because otherwise I would just, stay back in America. I might love and absolutely appreciate and completely respect and love America and miss it very much. But if I immigrant there. But right now, if a gun's pointed at my head, I'll be loyal to America. Unless, of course, my government is shit and doing shit things. And the Japanese government is doing the opposite. Oh shit. Texas. What is the first thing I think of when I hear Missouri? Before I met you, I would think of St. Louis. But now, I think Bosnia. Bosna. But anyways, I'm continuing to live stream.
Survey complete.
I used to think Nebraska was just football nerds who acted Southern until I met you, and how dead wrong I was. Oh, yeah. We do love football. In Nebraska, we do love football. And we don't have a Southern accent here. No, we do not have a Southern accent. And there is a cultural divide. I haven't seen this for myself between the people who live in Omaha and Lincoln and the cities around that and the people in the rest of the state. Maybe if you go, say, out in the farmland, people will act Southern. People will talk with a Southern accent or with a Western accent. But here in Nebraska, that ain't happening. Anyways, I'm officially ending the live stream here and now. It was amazing to talk to you guys. And I'm definitely live streaming tomorrow, and if I can, I will be live streaming tomorrow. Football, rugby, or soccer? Football. I'm not talking about rugby, and I'm not talking about soccer. I'm talking about football. I'm not talking about American football. I'm talking about football. There's soccer, which is for pansies, and there's football. Fuck. You know, there's soccer, which is for pansies, and there's football. There's, there's rugby, which is for Europeans and Canadians and non-Americans, and then there's football. I'm talking about what the European people call American football. Nah, football. We like guns and grilling. Yeah, guess what? In America, we like football. And baseball and all that shit. But no, in reality, I'm not that much of a fanatic. Although I am somewhat of a Huskers fanatic because I live in Nebraska. But anyways, I'm officially ending the live stream. It was amazing to talk with you. Missouri's baseball land, okay. It was amazing to talk to you in the live stream. America needs a Southern ball. It was amazing to talk to you. My plans for the future are going to be this. I will be live streaming next week, the week after. Week after that, I will be live streaming as much as possible. That's my opinion on America. It needs that's just the fact. I'm going to end the live stream right now, and it was a great stream. Thank you. And I will be talking with you on Discord after. Anyways, до свидания. It is an amazing time to live stream, and ich liebe dich. Well, and ich liebe live stream. I love everyone here in the live stream, and if next couple weeks I don't live stream because of certain events going on with my family, just know why. I don't think that that's going to happen, but I have a hunch it might. Well, anyways, до свидания, товарищи. And this is Julius Caesar getting stabbed by Bruce.